Planning your department structure is the first step for a successful QuickBooks Point of Sale setup. In most retail businesses, related merchandise is grouped into departments. Establishing and using departments is a good way to monitor sales performance, manage inventory, and run meaningful reports, which will help you make informed buying decisions. A well-designed department structure will also save you time and give you greater flexibility when conducting a physical inventory, changing prices, and or printing price tags. Before you set up your departments in the QuickBooks Point of Sale, you need to decide how you want to break out your sales, merchandise, and purchasing reports. Let's go to our department sales list so I can give you an example. So if we look at the department summary, and this is a report that I use often with my clients, and they like this report too. You can see where we have different departments. So you have your hardware department, and then you have them divided out in subcategories. And it will show you what your price is, what you earned, that's what you charge the customer. Then it shows your extended cost, and then it shows you the margin percentage. So this is why the department structure is so important, so that you can decide how you want your reports, what kind of information you want to get from your reports. Another thing that you want to think about when you're looking to create your department structure is, do you have items that are taxable and some that aren't taxable? For example, in Michigan, we don't charge for service, so I created a department here for services, and as you can see, the tax code is non-taxable on that. So that's another thing that you want to take a look at when you're deciding on your department structure. Another thing that you want to take a look at is if you want to be able to filter your item list for purposes of changing prices, printing price tags, or conducting physical inventory counts. So let's take a look here at our item list. Okay, so here where it says search inventory, click in here hardware. And then we can also choose if we want to go ahead, it brings up everything under hardware. And then if you want to dive further into this, then you can, let's just choose RAM. And then what we'll do is it will show you all of your items that have the department with a subcategory of RAM. Another area that this would be pretty helpful for you is if you're going to run a physical inventory. Now sometimes people like to perform physical inventories different parts of the year. They want to just do different departments. So what you can do is you can create a filter and choose which department that you want to run that inventory for. And so we only have one item as a Dell computer, but if you had more, that's just kind of to give you an example of what you can do with your department structure. Another thing I want to show you, let's go back to the item list and let's print some price tags. So I'm just going to choose here hardware. We'll go back to the RAM. And then what we'll do is I need to add in my print tags here. But you can choose the print tags, and then you can choose the one that's selected, or you can print all the items. Preview that. And that will show you all the different items, just to kind of give you an idea of how you can print off that way also. Let me print the tags here and preview. Shows the one. To create a new department, select New Department from the Inventory menu. First, we need to enter a department code. Department codes provide a fast way to locate a department in the Find window by typing a few characters instead of the full department name. Department codes also enable the display of a short department identifier on item tags. While not required, it is often useful to define departments using a 2 or 3 character code. Consider using the same code for a group of departments. For example, SOF for all departments related to software. In this way, you can filter for all departments with the code SOF. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Next, we will enter a department name. Department names are unique and specific to your business. Our recommendation is to use the following naming convention. So you have your main category. We'll go ahead and type in software. Then you have your subcategory, which we will go ahead and put Microsoft. QuickBooks Point of Sale Desktop doesn't support any sort of sub-department structure, but if you use this naming convention, the illusion of sub-departments can be created. We use a colon as this is how QuickBooks Desktop financial software works to create a sub. For example, we would use software, Microsoft. In this way, all of Microsoft's software sales would be grouped together for filtering and reporting purposes. Then, accept the tax code field as taxed by default or change as needed. Tax codes define whether the items in the department are taxable or not. The tax code is set up in the sales tax section of company preferences. The default tax codes are tax and non. Additional codes can be created in company preferences and will be available in the department record. All items in the department will use a tax code set up in the department record, but can be overwritten on an item-by-item basis. Next, we want to take a look at to enter margin or markup percentages. You set the markup or markup percentages, then QuickBooks Point of Sale Desktop will calculate the other value. For example, if I set the margin at 50%, the markup will be set then to 100%. The value must be a whole number. The program uses this value along with the average unit cost to suggest a selling price. In practice, since the average cost is not populated until the items are received, most of my clients set the selling price by multiplying the order cost by a keystone percentage, usually something like 2.5 times. Additionally, since the department only supports whole numbers, the selling price often turns out to be a strange number. The use of Price Manager is recommended to set or change the selling price if needed. This field can be useful as a quick check of the item's current margin. Choose the pricing button if the item record and you will see the current markup and margin. Since the average unit cost can and does change over time, you can see if your selling price needs to be adjusted to maintain your margins. Go ahead and click Save. And we just created our department. The department list is in a format similar to a spreadsheet. A list can be sorted, filtered, and searched to help you locate a record or a group of records. We can customize the columns on the top of the list. Here's our options that we have available to us. We can remove one if we want to from the list. We can add it. We can move the columns to the area that we want to. We can also sort the list, so we can click any column header to sort the list by the values in that column. Click the same header a second time to change the sort order to ascending or descending. A small triangle shown here indicates the column by which the list is currently sorted. You can use a scroll bar on the right of the window. We don't have that on this demonstration because there's not enough departments, so it doesn't scroll. You can also search for a record. So you click your mouse into the search department, and we're going to enter in the department code of COM for computer, and everything will list under that department. We can click on that department, and then we can choose I want to, and we can either add a record, we can edit a record, edit the record that's highlighted, we can copy that record that's highlighted, and we can delete if we want to delete the record. You can also export the list to Excel, or you can run a report showing the department summary or the department list. You can also show the details. You can hide the details, You can also add a new department from this button, and you can also edit the record that's highlighted. There are options for you on the left side of the screen. So you have these buttons, so you can copy the department record. You can also delete a department record. You can run reports, and you can add a new department. Now, if you want different buttons, you can click on the Customize button, and you can choose what available task you want to show. So you can add them, you can remove them, so you can customize it exactly the way that you want. We'll close out of there. Another way to search through the department list is to use your up and down keys on your keyboard. You can also use your Control Home button, and that will take you to the top of the toolbar. You can also click Control N, of course, to go to the last record in the row. You can use the page up to move to the very top of the screen, and page down to move to the end of the screen. Use your arrow keys or tab and shift and tab to move one column right or left respectively within that row. You can press the home to go to the very first record, or you can go to N to go down to the last of that row. You can change the column width, and you can edit a record by double-clicking on the department. That's how you can work within a list. If an existing department is similar to the one that you want to add, copy the existing department and edit the copy to reflect the new department information. We're going to highlight the computer refurbished, and we're going to click on the I want to. We can choose copy here. We'll click on copy. We will keep it the same computer code. We're going to change it to a different sub-department. We will choose IBM. We're going to leave the tax as taxable. We're not going to put a margin percentage or a markup percentage because it's going to vary depending on the type of computer it is. Then we'll choose save. So now you can see on the bottom of the screen, you have your department detail here, and that's all you have to do. You can freely edit department records as needed. However, keep this in mind. When editing a department name in the department file, it does not change the name on the item records and inventory. So I'm going to go to the items list, and you see the department. So if you change the item in the department list, you will have to then go into this department. You must edit the department name for each item assigned to that department to reflect the new name. We will go back to the department list. Another note is that changes to the department name are automatically reflected in other program areas and on reports. Editing the margin and markup or the tax code does not update existing items in inventory. These values are used only when adding new items to inventory. So now to edit a department record, we're going to highlight the department record that we want to modify, which is the IBM computer. We can click Edit from the right hand side of the screen. We can also choose Edit from the window toolbar. We can modify the department as necessary. I'll put a margin of 50% in there. Click Save. That's how you edit a department record. Use this procedure to delete a department that you no longer use. Deleting a department record does not affect existing inventory records or history documents. The department name remains in place in both of those areas, and reports can still be generated for the deleted department. Deleting a department record does not remove the department from the item records. Deleting a department record does not remove the department from the item records. If the department is still in place on item records, the item records should be updated to reflect your department structure. We're going to highlight the department record, computer, HP. We're going to click on the I want to, and you can choose delete, or you can double click delete on the left hand side of the toolbar. You get the confirmation that you selected one department to delete. We'll click delete to confirm, and it deletes that department. Let's go to the item list. Here you see where there's an HP computer for the department right here. You will need to change this item record. We will change that to consignment, and it's saved. And we'll go to the home screen. Point of sale's pricing formula can be used to calculate item prices when they are first added or received into inventory. When a new item is added and assigned to a department with a predefined margin or markup, point of sale will calculate your regular price from the average unit cost by applying the specified margin markup. Prices for your other price levels are calculated based on the price level markdowns defined in company preferences. To define a default department margin or markup, we're going to go to the department list. We're going to choose a department that doesn't have a margin percentage or a markup percentage, so we'll choose the Dell computer. We're going to edit that record. So here is where we can enter a margin value in the margin percentage field, or a markup value in the markup percentage field. Entering either results in the other being calculated and auto-filled by point of sale. We're going to enter 40%. And it automatically enters the markup percentage as 67%. We will click Save. Now we're going to enter in an item, and we're going to add that department so you can see how it works. We'll click Add, and we're going to add a Dell computer, 15-inch, and we'll keep it as inventory. And then in the department, we will choose the Dell computer, the item description, and copy and paste. And remember to keep the regular price at 0 if you want to be able to have the department markup work. We'll go ahead and add in the average unit cost of $100. It's a pretty good deal on the cost, the average unit cost. It doesn't usually like it when I do this. Enter it in from the screen. Same thing with the on-hand quantity. And I think we're all set. So I will click Save. Well, actually, before I click Save, you can see where the regular price automatically went in to the selected box. So there you go. If you don't want the regular price to be calculated through the department then you would enter in your own regular price in that box. So we can save. You see it right on the bottom, and you can see what our cost is and then what the regular price is. We will click to the home screen, and that is how you would use a department pricing formula for new items.
Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe and click on the bell to be notified when I make another video about point of sale. Thank you, everybody.